Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store, our Kings. Eddie Hearn, I've just said to you off camera there, seen a lot of impressive individual performances over the years. That one's up there. Jaron Ennis has beaten, I want to say this, a very, very good fighter in Stanionis. You must be so proud as a promoter to have a guy like this on top of the stable you've got globally, sort of leading the charge pound for pound.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're, when you look at that pound for pound list, of which he now lands on, we've got Dimitri Bivol, we've got Shakur Stevenson, we've got Jaron Ennis, we've got Bam Rodriguez, we've got Richardson Hitch. I mean, our stable's unbelievable. But you can have great fighters, but you need to put performances in on a stage like that, in fights like that, for me to be able to stand in the ring and say, I fucking told you, this kid is the one. He's 27 years old. You talk about these other fighters, the great fighters like, I don't know, Crawford. What's Crawford? 36, right? Who is amazing. Boots, Crawford, best fight in the sport, fucking unbelievable. But this kid's got so many gears and levels to go through. He's not, I said to him, oh, you took a few. He was like, yeah, I was just playing. Like, the way he sits on the ropes, someone like Stanionis, like the most dangerous thing you can do against Stanionis is sit on the ropes. And he's in there in the pocket and the movement, and it was getting better and better and better and more spiteful and more spiteful. Shout out to Marvin, the trainer, because you save a fighter from a horrific beating. And he was taking a beating anyway, but like, what's the point? His nose is busted, he's about to get knocked spark out, and it's like, the fight's over. And it's like, it's such a disheartening beating. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you can't have any joy. You land one and you think, and then all of a sudden you got hit by about 8 and he's over there. He's such a brilliant fighter. And, and the other thing about him is that was a great press conference where he talked about Brian Norman and people like that, right? All people care about is money. And you're talking about to a geezer who fucking loves money, right? But I also love the glory. I love the passion. The whole point in sport is proving you're the best. And it's really tiring when you've got people that are getting offered 8, 10 times more than they've ever made to prove themselves against a great fight. And it's like, you just want to continuously price yourself out. And, I know some people will moan at me saying things like that, but that is the reality of boxing. Like Stanionis, tonight, Boots, when he gave him some of his purse, he took less money so we could overpay Stanionis, right? And I don't like saying overpaying fighters because it's a tough old job, but Stanionis made a fortune tonight. And, Tom Brown said in the press, we've wanted this fight for years. Well, no one's ever fucking mentioned it. And by the way, even after the Chidazian fight, no one mentioned it. We contact them. And we'll pay Norman the same money as Stanionis, which is a fortune. But Boots ain't taking less anymore. We've got to give him more money because he deserves to get paid. And he's making a lot of money as well. But there's got to be an element of just wanting to fight the best and wanting to prove yourself.
With these fighters, though, it can't all be talent and pound for pound talent. They normally have to have that other package that goes with it. And you mentioned in the press conference, which I thought was interesting. Canelo, Tank, we know what they bring, eyeballs. But he has now done in here, I think, 10,000. He's going to sell out Philly if he does it again. How good is that side of the box has ticked as well? Because
that's
he's
what we're saying.
superstar.
The biggest ticket sellers in American boxing. Canelo, obviously, he's a freak of nature. Tank's a great ticket seller. That's it. And then it's Boots. No one's selling 15,000, 12,000 to fight Chidazian, like 9,500 tonight or wherever it was down at Atlantic City. No one's been here for fucking 10 years. Literally, even a fight. And he's a joy to work with because it's just the beginning. And we played a long game as well. That was the performance. We really needed that from him tonight.
I've got to ask you, talking about playing the long game, I watched Ray Ford tonight. The crowd seemed to be getting frustrated, but he was
harsh, really. I thought he looked fantastic. I mean, look, first 5 rounds looks razor sharp. Then Matisse just goes into his shell. He's getting beaten up, and he's just. But I think the crowd were more like Matisse is just following him around. Actually, he's not even letting his hands go. Yeah, and then 8, 9, 10, a few little rumbles from the crowd. But look, I've got the best 2 super featherweights in the world: Sugar Nunes and Ray Ford.
He said he wants that fight next, and he said it should be easy to make.
It is. That's the fight. But look, Sugar Nunes goes to Japan to fight Rikishi. He's got to win the title first. But when he does, we'll make Sugar Nunes against Ray Ford, and it's the best fight in the division.
I want to talk about Omari Jones. He had a bit of support in here tonight as well. Florida
You know that in America, the Olympic brand and being a medalist goes a long way. Like, it opens doors in America corporately that probably doesn't apply the same in Britain. So when they're very passionate, the Americans, right? Yeah. So when you've medalled for the country, they're all like, he's a fucking Olympian, he's a medalist. So there's an automatic applaud. The kid is, I mean, when we talk about our top end talent, we talk about Bivol and Bam and Shakur and Boots. The bottom end talent, I'm talking about the young talent.
The ground up, yeah.
I mean, in America, Zaquin Moses, unbelievable tonight. Yeah. Omari Jones, unbelievable tonight. There's so much incredible talent that we've got stateside. Back in the UK is the same. You saw Pat Brown recently. You got Taylor Bevan, you got Nishan Dev, our Indian Olympian as well, unbelievable fighter. Tara Mawan, it's just massive global stable of incredible talent, and really excited about Omari Jones because he's got it all. Great talker, looks the part, and he's a phenomenal talent. And Zaquin Moses, 19.
Yeah, he seems special, but when you look at a guy who's 19, is it hard when you see how good they are, and it's like, how do we really match them? So you don't want to let them off the loose too soon, it's still early.
I feel like he needs someone a little bit more tough and robust in front of him. I said to Kevin Rooney tonight, look, I know he's 19 and that was his third fight, so you're allowed a few gimmies, but when you're as good as he is, don't just hold him back, because the key is, and this is the same for Omari, we need to find him someone that can do the rounds. You've got to be able to show the improvements. You've got to be able to show what you're working on in the gym. Yeah. And these camps are quite long, and to go in there and do 1 or 2 rounds, you're then waiting. Luckily for Omari, it was only, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. But sometimes you're waiting 8 weeks to get back in. And it's like you've done all that work in the gym, which is still important. But here is where you actually learn under the bright light. So the matching's got to be a little bit tougher for those two moving forward.
Last one, a bit random, but I saw it on the internet, so I've got to ask you. The Jack Catterall and Harlem Eubank, is that a fight that's talked about or in negotiation? What's the situation? I know it's a bit of a curveball.
Yeah, it has been talked about. I mean, I think it's Jack's looking for a big fight. Harlem's built some momentum. Obviously, he's got the name. He's done some decent numbers on Channel 5. It's a fight we're open to, and it's a fight that is being discussed. We'll see if it's got any legs.
Eddie, appreciate your time.
Cheers, mate.